Hello, lore heads, and welcome to the League, exploring the League of Legends lore from A to Z. My name is Rebecca.
And I'm John.
My name is Mark.
Today we're talking about the Keeper of the Hammer, Poppy, who was released January 13th, 2010.
So old.
She's a little yordle.
She looks great for her age.
Yeah, she's been moisturizing, I suppose.
Yordelizing. She's just the yordle. Although Heimerdinger looks old as shit. What's going on, Donger?
You know, it's...
Damn. Fucking call him out. Dog him.
Stress
Why
is
do
a
you
motherfucker.
look like dog shit, Heimer?
So judgmental today. Fuck.
I know. It's the Chardonnay.
Like 2 sips in.
I haven't had a lot of Chardonnay even. I'm just an asshole. I don't know. Truly. All right. On the universe page, Poppy has a bio, and there's a link to 3 short stories. 2 of them work. One of them is actually about Poppy.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the
one
third?
broken link.
Yeah.
The first one doesn't work, yeah, and then the second one is about Poppy. The third one is the Whispering Doodad, which they talk about Poppy.
They mention
once.
her in one sentence in that short story.
Yeah.
I forgot it was even on the universe page because I just I saw it and I was like, well, I know she's not in that because we've done it twice.
Right.
So.
Yes.
They also have links to her, like a Q&A for the team that that redid her, which is a broken link. And
Is that
they
really?
also have one for, like, I think her, her
animation?
visual something or other, which is a broken link.
Riot. Riot, come on.
She got an update not that long ago, I feel like.
You want to learn about Poppy? Don't go to the fucking universe page. There's fuck all there for you.
Riot, it's not funny anymore. It's not fucking cool.
I went to her page and I was like, oh, 3 short stories. I'm starting this kind of late. Clicked on the first one. Oh, well, I guess I'm not reading that one. That one doesn't work. Read the second one. The third one, she's not in that story. So I guess I'm done.
You did it.
I did it.
Another job well done.
Right. Great. Awesome. I didn't click on the insights links because I had read it all through the wiki because just incidentally. And I was like, oh, I don't need to go click those links. I already read all this. I'm kind of like, I'm really fucking mad to hear that like she has so many busted fucking links. That's not
really
good.
Weird.
Okay.
Well, what's our lady sound?
Hang on.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
go
I
ahead.
didn't listen. Shit. But is this the only part of like the Riot website that is just constantly has like broken links and stuff?
No, I'm sure every part of it is fucked.
I remember before I left, we were redoing the new player website, and that was such a pain to like get access to, like to even fix it, because like nobody knew who owned it and shit like that, and then like all of the updates needed to go through like a third party like we had to give them the updates, but then they had to actually do the updates, and like it was a pain.
Yeah, I'm sure. I would bet money you can find a broken link on every Riot page somewhere. Or a link that just takes you at least to something that's like completely not what the link says it is. I guess I would say.
Yeah, that's safe money, I think.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
Here's
enough
my
stalling.
Poppy impression. This is what Poppy sounds like.
That's cheating. That's our Poppy.
That's what our daughter sounds like. That's what she was doing at me all day. All right, hang on. Let me listen to
No
her.
hero, just a yordle with a hammer.
Wow, that was really good. Good job.
Thank you. Very good. All right, hang on. All right, I'm just going to guess what this sounds like because John wrote down 2 quotes. Just had a thought. 3 pigtails.
That's pretty
Beautiful.
good. Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. So she got a taunt to Tarek. She says, I'm about to hammer you in the jewels.
That's so good.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, hammer. Which I I really appreciated them putting a George W. Bush Jr. quote in their quotes.
I mean, I get that. That's an actual, like, saying, isn't it?
Yeah, but not fucking it up that way.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It was like...
Fucking it up that way is a very specific
I know.
G-dubs
Fool me
thing.
once, shame on you. Fool me twice, you can't
We
get
got a
fooled
saying in
again.
Texas.
I think it's
Fool
what
me
it is.
Can't get fooled again.
Right.
Wow, what year is it? We're all doing GW impressions.
Oh, man.
Now, we have some pretty consistent writing with the Poppy stories.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're John O'Brien.
Okay.
Did he write The Whispering Doodad? I assume no.
I did not write down that one. I also assume it wasn't him. But
That's the one I would
Yeah.
bet no. But, yeah, I'm sure. It seems like he did everything else.
yeah.
Who wants to do the bio?
I will. I technically don't have notes for it, but it's, I feel like pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
This is, I read this out loud to our Poppy today.
Weird.
Poppy was not a normal Yordle in Bandle City. She's too serious, and people don't seem to like her. She's not really into like magic and whimsy and all that. So she leaves and eventually kind of finds like the early Demacians before they were Demacians, I guess. And she gets attached to Orlan.
Yeah, I read it as Orlin.
Orlando.
Orlando.
Hammer Bloom. I don't know.
I know. I couldn't think of something either. It's like, what rhymes with shroom? That doesn't work. Groom?
Timo?
That's
Yeah,
bad.
Yeah. Oh. I was thinking Orlando, Florida, but, whatever.
Oh. No.
No.
I like that you immediately think of Florida, and we immediately think of
Legolas.
sexy
I mean,
elves.
Yeah.
You pick your
Or
Orlando.
pirates. Not my Orlando. Anyway, Orlan, Poppy's kind of stalking him for a while, to put it lightly, and she thinks he's real intense and cool and makes herself known to a human for the first time. They're like thick as thieves, Poppy and Orlan. He fights with a hammer, and it's all cool and stuff, and then on his deathbed, because he, is human, he has a pitiful human life.
Damn.
I mean lengthwise, pitifully short human life.
Pitiful
Is what I
lengthwise. Mocking Orlan. Okay, it's not the size of the hammer, it's how you
mocking
swing it.
Stop mocking Orlando Shroom.
Anyway, he admitted that the hammer was not meant for him. When he took it, was given it, I don't remember how he got it. He was told that it would be for the hero of Demacia, the true hero of Demacia, who would bring them all together or something. So Poppy swears that she'll find out who that is. And that's where she is now. She's still wandering around trying to find out, who this hammer belongs to. I feel like, of course, you kind of know it's probably you, Poppy. I think you belong to this hammer, or the hammer belongs to you. And then they do end it with the line like, oh, she never thought perhaps it could be her. And I was like, I got that, but thank you.
Yeah, just in case you didn't get it.
In case you get it.
Right?
It is
In
the
case you didn't
bio,
get all
right?
the context clues here.
Yeah, that's okay.
Including the biggest context clue, in my opinion,
Oh.
that Orlan said that the hammer was to go to the hero of Demacia, the only one who could keep Demacia whole. But
Well, they're doing a bad job.
But you'll remember, he had that hammer when Poppy met him, which, if you look back on the timeline, is before Demacia
Yeah.
existed. So if someone gave him the hammer and told him, give it to the person who, the hero of Demacia, who will keep Demacia whole, that sounds like a lie, Orlan. You're lying. And
I
Poppy
think-
should have known that, but she's dumb.
I
Sorry,
think-
Poppy.
Damn, son. Y'all are coming out fucking swinging. I do think I read somewhere that Orlan made the hammer. He smithed it, right?
Oh.
And so given that, I'm going to go with that as being canon. And so the thing is that, Orlan was trying to just give it to Poppy. He was just on his deathbed and was sickly because of his pitiful, no shame, but his pitifully small shrimp.
His short
human.
His short, pathetic
human
But
life.
but it's thick.
I also have a human life that is short.
But yeah, I got the same read that like it was a story he made up to.
Wow, I'm dumb. I didn't get that. Maybe I do need the bio to spoon feed me.
I don't even think
I'm
that.
curious though. I'm curious if he thought that she would understand, and then she didn't.
That was
and
kind of
then
my
he died,
read on
so
it.
he couldn't explain it.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
God,
like one of
sad.
those parables where he gave it to her and it was like, "Oh, only the true best is worthy of such a hammer, and I'm gonna give the hammer to you." And she's like, "Oh, thank you. I'll go find the true best now."
Honestly,
It's like when you look at someone and you're like, "Who's that pretty boy?" And you look behind you like, "Who is it?"
Yes. I think that, I mean, you're literally, that is what the case is, right?
I kind of relate. I feel like I would do the same thing. I'd be like, well, surely he didn't mean me. So let me go find out.
I'm gonna go spend the rest of my very long Yordle life.
Yes, my not pitiful, amazing Yordle life.
Less stamina in that Yordle life. It's,
Maybe he knew that she said that Yordles have to have a purpose. She says this in the short story, I feel like. What would happen if she actually finds the hero and gives the hammer away? That's been her purpose for a long time. So maybe Orlin was like, I gotta give this girl something to do.
there's some snipes I need you to go hunt. Go get up.
Bring back the gold from the bodies of 5 rats, and I will give you your next quest.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I kind of liked it because I found it interesting that Orlin talked about how it was never really meant for him, and yet, he was probably like the most venerated hero of Demacia. Like, he is kind of almost the same as Poppy. I wonder if that, like, he never thought it was for him in the same way she does, and yet they are both kind of the ones who are like the paragons of the Demacian ideal, right? Because they're so selfless and all that shit,
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, they do say they're very kindred spirits,
Yeah. And yeah.
Also, I liked there is they mention in the bio that she's tried to pass the hammer off to several people, and it often just results in their deaths. And I feel like it was a very glossed over line. I was like, man, I want to learn more about that.
Yeah, give me one of those short stories.
So I was very happy that is what the comic was about.
I was gonna say, I think it happens in the comic, or at the very least,
You get to see one of those lives lost.
he could be alive. He was making gurgling noises, but he's gonna need some time off. All right.
I don't think they have good enough doctors in Runeterra, to be honest.
I was gonna say they got magic, but it is Demacia that we're talking about, so they literally don't.
Yeah.
Right.
I laughed at some point in the bio. There's a line like, "We're creating a new place, Demacia, where all are welcome," and I was like,
Yeah.
Bad news, Orlin.
"Yeah, y'all are gonna fuck that up real good."
You're gonna hate Poppy's kind real good. Also, there was a line that said, "Where was Orlin going? Where did he come from?" Which immediately
John.
just made me fucking think of Cotton Eye Joe, and I couldn't help it.
Is that your next parody?
I was gonna say
Probably not.
Well, Mark would have to sing that one again.
Poppin'.
I put Orlin Eye Joe.
Orlin Eye Joe. I like Poppin'
Can
Eye
we
Joe.
top that?
Poppin' Eye Joe is very good.
That's
There's something
better.
there with Poppin'.
Yeah.
Poppin'. I don't know. We'll figure it
Poppin'
out.
lockin'. Now these are just things that we call our daughter.
Was it weird? Was it weird reading all this stuff with like Poppy just seeing that name just like everywhere?
Not really. I don't think so.
No, it was aight. It was aight.
I was just curious if it was a weird
Yeah.
experience.
I feel like if she acted more like our Poppy, it would have been like if
She acted like a 4-month-old,
Right.
just shit her pants right now.
Only the true
And
hero.
smiled.
The true hero of
If they
Demacia. She's like, it's just an incompetent little baby.
if they had shaken like a towel at her and she had started giggling, then I would have been like, "Oh, that's our Pop."
That's her girl laughing at fart noises, just like your dad.
Well, they're funny.
He's not. They're not wrong.
I just want to say, so I make cute little fart noises at Poppy, like that. Just they kind of sound like a air being let out of a balloon. John, John makes fart noises that are way too real, and then he makes himself laugh. So he'll start doing a fart noise and then just start laughing, and Poppy just stares at him. She doesn't like the realistic ones.
She hates my noises.
They're like diarrhea sounds.
They are like diarrhea sounds.
She likes a cute little...
But I can't make that
can't make
noise with my mouth for some reason, so I need to make the realistic ones.
There's a happy medium.
Right?
There's that, and then there's
0 to 100, right? There's no middle ground.
Anyway, moving on from fart sounds that we make all day, literally all day. What else are we thinking about the bio?
you know,
I liked it. I mean, I'm enjoying. Poppy's got like kind of a simple task. I would like to see. I guess that would be the conclusion, though, right? Is Poppy coming to the realization that she's the hero of Demacia, or just in some way actually utilizing her in Demacia? Because there's a lot going on. Where's Poppy?
Don't worry, she's in the.
No.
She's in the
fuck
Ruination
up.
cinematic, so I'm sure she's gonna play a really big part in that event. Don't worry.
God damn.
Horseshit.
This again, like the Ruination, I think at every turn we come back to it, and it's like, man, it is worse than I realized. And I was like, I kind of knew this was Poppy's thrust, but even more so, it's like, man, that's really, wouldn't it be swell? Wouldn't it be fucking swell if like this character who's looking for like a hero of Demacia, like tooled around with a big bunch of damn heroes who are literally trying to save the world? Wouldn't that be fucking swell?
It'd be neat.
That would have been neat. Yeah, that would have been cool.
But I think Poppy's got like a nice niche where she's like, she works super well for a kind of monster of the week type story for like all of her stories.
I like her premise a lot. It's a fun like setup for a character,
Yeah.
But I do agree. I'd like because it's almost like in the bio, like you said, ooh, this hero of Demacia will help keep. Like, it's almost like he literally knows about the upcoming, like, future civil war. It's just like, we'll help keep Demacia together. There's a lot of things he could have said, but he said they will keep it together. And it's like, hey, Poppy, the place is literally dissolving right now.
Yeah, I am curious if eventually they'll have to move forward with Demacia's story, I assume. And I would hope that they would remember Poppy exists and that they've said this about her, because she is a good balance of the sides where she really represents like what Demacia stands for. Garen, I imagine, would admire her a lot, and she would have a crush on him probably or something. And then she's also a magical creature,
Yeah.
I as much as she doesn't like magic, it doesn't really resonate with her, is what it sounds like. I mean, she's certainly not anti-magic.
Yeah, and she was there when Demacia was founded, so she's seen what it can be and what its ideals were. Like, I completely agree. Like, she is like almost like you almost like need her to like fix the whole fucking thing, right?
All right, put her right in the middle there.
You need that perspective, and it's like, and like it's kind of funny because she's so like humble, and Garen would admire her in the same way that she super, I bet, admires him and the good parts of Garen and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Damn.
They'd be a cute little duo, actually.
Yeah.
Another big thing, small thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Put it on the fucking board.
I think Galileo Poppy would be the real big thing. Real small thing.
Yeah, that would, and
that
would be a nice poetic kind of wrapping back around all the way back to old lore anyway.
Yeah.
So I love it. All right, we want to jump into the comic.
Sure. This is called A Hero's Calling.
It's not linked on Poppy's
Wherever it might be
page.
found.
Wherever it is.
So the only credit I found for this was by John O'Brien. I didn't find like a credits page, which is a shame.
For like artists or anything like that. Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, which is a shame because I like the art on this one. But this is like the proper color story for Poppy, because she's in Demacia, she's looking for that hero, and she says she's in like some little faraway village, and he's like, the best warriors gather here to fight crag beasts, and there's lots of prospects, and then a crag beast shows up, and one person kind of stands out. It's this gallant knight, the prototypical Demacian, like flowing blonde hair, plate silver armor, who hurries all the civvies to shelter and like calls for a weapon. and starts fighting this crag beast, and the halberd that he has snaps, and so he calls for another one, and Poppy throws him the hammer, and he takes a swing, does nothing, and gets put at least into some sort of like permanent bed rest situation. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. Monster fucking yeets him to a different dimension.
Yeah.
I just was reading down on your notes. Just, oh, that bitch got yeeted.
That bitch did get yeeted.
Crag beasts are no fucking joke, apparently. But
Apparently.
Yeah.
so Poppy in this moment actually kind of feels like a failure. It's like, this happens every time. It's almost what she's like thinking. Why couldn't someone else have done this? Regardless, she kind of realizes that crag beast is heading towards the cellar and kind of snaps out of it, and it's like, you're not going towards that cellar. And she starts fighting it, kills it, and then walks off through the remains towards the next village, because maybe the hero will be there. And she's got a good feeling about that one. Into the sunset.
Mm-hmm.
And this is because I had read this one right after the bio too, and I feel like it didn't come up as much in the bio, but in this one for sure is where we start to definitely get her insisting on referring to the hero as he.
Yeah, Poppy's real sexist.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, if you're looking for a hero, no. I mean,
You have a daughter now, Mark. You have to like women now.
shit, they didn't make me sign that contract when she was born.
Isn't that when you respect them now? You're like, as a father
minute.
with a daughter. Until I had a daughter,
Is
I
every
didn't know
woman
that women were
someone's daughter?
people.
Hold the fucking phone.
Oh, shit. This girl has a father somewhere, and I bet he's in a lot of pain right now.
What a hero he is.
Right? What a hero. I don't mind it with her because it's so, like, the writers are super aware of what they're doing, and it's so clearly, like, playing against at least I feel like it's playing against like, almost the Demacian biases, right? Like, the what would be, like, the default, like, type, or, like, oh, if it's a hero, of course it's a man, right? But the hero is
Which
quite
is
literally
weird,
her,
'cause, like,
right?
Because I feel like I don't see that as much in Demacia. You get like really high-ranking generals that are women in Demacia.
It is true
and
with
even like in
Tiana.
Yordle culture, like you get like Tristana is like a war person in Bandle City, and I don't necessarily see like the male hierarchy in Bandle City or Demacia that you'd see in a lot of other. I mean, granted, yeah, they've got a king, so I mean, there's that.
Oh, I thought you meant the Yordles for a second.
Oh,
It's Timo.
you haven't read about the Yordle King?
Damn, that's a good name for something.
King Timo.
I mean, if you ask him, it's Kled, but
Oh, the
Right.
Yordle
it's
King.
one of the many places he owns.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is I could be wrong, but I would bet Tiana did not exist in the lore when this was written, and I think it's hard because when you look at things like Fiora, for example, there's more of an example. Well, we didn't like Fiora's lore anyway, so maybe I won't lean on that. I think it's almost like, I don't know. It's like I guess it's something that to me seemed reasonable, in that like if you asked a Demacian, they would have an ideal, and the ideal in a Demacian's mind, just by default, is probably a man. But that could also just be even more broadly that like your average reader almost or writer might just hold that kind of bias in their head, and that's what it's kind of speaking to.
I feel like coming from it as a writer that they were trying to just keep Poppy as far away from the idea that the hero could be her. And so she just refers to the hero as a man, which I think is unnecessary, but I kind of get why. I don't think it's as deep as this is what Demacia thinks the hero looks like. I think they're just trying to be like, oh, Poppy has no idea it's her. She thinks it's a boy, you know?
I can see that.
But I think it doesn't fit to me where Poppy comes from and what Demacia is like, that she would just assume that the hero's a dude. I would think that she would be looking for anybody, and I think she would use the language to be like, I don't know where they are. I have to find them.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't think saying he adds anything, or her assuming it's a boy adds anything. A boy.
Yeah, I can see that.
A man, I
think
guess. Or a boy.
I think you're probably right, like you said, that it's just to put her as as far away on the spectrum from what
Yeah.
like her, like what's the opposite of Poppy, right? You know, things like that. I get that.
Big man.
Galileo.
Yeah. But yeah, I like this
Big
one.
man with big
big,
needs.
big crevices that
Why-
need filling.
You know, okay. Y'all are horny tonight.
It is.
Look, we're just quoting, all right?
No, okay.
With the
That's
tiniest
fair.
bit of paraphrasing for comedic.
Mine
Yeah,
wasn't.
and it was the eyes, John. You used your bedroom eyes.
I just can't talk about Gallia without my bedroom eyes just happening.
It's fair.
You're inspired.
All right. Well, I guess I'm dressing up like Galileo tonight.
Again.
Again.
You're my gal, yo.
All right. So,
Okay.
the short story.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I like the comic though. It's a real fucking shame that it's a big 404 because like I like the art
Yeah.
and in particular there's a lot of like close up panels of Poppy's face and she's very like emotive and expressive.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, between like
Which is interesting too, because I think if I'm remembering my fun facts correctly, I think she may have been the first remake to actually have facial animation.
I bet you're right. Yeah, because I know they had a whole
So
thing
she was
about
literally
yeah.
the most emotive person.
Yeah. But she has a big gamut, right? From like when she's kind of sad, or when she's like, kind of or when she gets that really determined like shot where she's gonna like fight this crag beast. I really like it. I wish
That
this was a
anime
cinematic.
shot.
Yeah, I wish this was a cinematic.
Yeah. It would be good. I was thinking Poppy would lend herself really well to like an animated miniseries, I feel like. And something kind of almost like The Witcher, where there's a bit of a monster of the week thing going on, but also then an overall story happening too. I think that would be really fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a good vehicle for stories in Demacia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also,
Well.
something not related to that, but something I noticed in like the first page of this is it looks like they're harvesting the remains of a crag beast, which I don't know. That seemed cool. That seemed like a neat idea. Like, why would you have this village just constantly getting attacked by them? It's like, well, because you can use their guts to make your bread. I don't know.
I mean, they could just eat the meat. They don't have to make bread out
You
of it,
gotta make
Mark.
bread with it. Not a lot of people will tell you that about crag beasts, but
Great
might as well call
sourdough.
them crag yeast.
Oh, that was very good.
That was a pretty good one. Surprising. No, I'm so sorry.
Damn.
I'm so sorry.
All right, we want to hop into the Slayer.
Yes.
Love
You make
love
a
that
lot
music.
of funny jokes, John. I'm really sorry.
I was just trying
So
to pave
mean.
over it, but you know, I appreciate that you.
I had to apologize for our marriage. Although I am going to dress up like Galileo for you. So, you know.
Cool.
All right, anyway.
Can't wait to see your idol of Durand.
So
Durand,
stupid.
Durand. That's the only thing I remember from that show. All right, anyway. What's the story? The Slayer?
The Slayer.
The Slayer.
Yeah. Which,
Da-na-na. You know, starting the Buffy theme.
oh.
I didn't pick it up. There you go. I would have caught it on that one.
I couldn't do like the, I didn't do the, oh, and like the whistling sounds.
In every
You know how the
generation, there
beginning
was
of Buffy is? Anyway.
yeah. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, Slayer. Starts off with Poppy. She's
Poppy,
the thing, the keeper. She is squared
Looking
off
for some men.
Yeah, she's looking for some men heroes. She's squared off against a Briar Wolf, and she's looking for a renowned monster slayer that's in the area. Yeah, I think you're right about the Witcher thing. By the way, it's just talking about this one. I didn't even think about it, but
Yeah.
she's literally doing that shit in this story.
She's just the Witcher.
Yeah, the cutest Witcher I ever done seen.
She is.
If the Witcher had pigtails.
Oh my god! Someone draw Geralt. How do you say his name?
Geralt.
Gerald.
Geralt of Trivia.
Someone draw Gerald with pigtails.
Sorry, I was listening to a Dungeons and Daddies episode the
Oh,
other
okay.
day, and there was a trivia section, and it was led by Geralt of Trivia, and it made me chuckle.
Oh right.
Oh, you.
I only watched that one season of The Witcher, so I don't know much about it. But I'd love to see Gerald in some pigtails.
He could rock them. Henry Cavill. Anyway.
Absolutely he could.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. I'm trying to remember what the hell's going on. Oh, yeah. She's fighting that wolf.
Monster.
It's
yeah.
rabid. She kills it. She does so remorsefully. I feel like they really hammer home that she's a lot of her monster slaying is like in self-defense and remorseful.
It is, yeah. She's so sweet.
Yeah, she doesn't mean to. This thing's like rabid, whatever. But she's been up and down. She's looking for this slayer. She's found only wolves and wyverns and highwaymen. And eventually there's like a notice like, hey, there's a festival to celebrate this monster slayer. And she gets to the village and it's packed with people. And the speaker starts talking about how the hero has saved farms and villages from wolves and wyverns and bandits.
Highwaymen.
And highwaymen. I wish they did say highwaymen because they don't. They say bandits. And it makes me upset.
Yeah, that would have been funny. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also that the hero's anonymous, but they were spotted near a place called Ewendale a few weeks ago. So there's like first-hand accounts that are kind of like, we're told, I guess, like friend of a friend of a friend type thing. And they unveil a statue of the Slayer, and it's this tall, armored dude with rippling muscles, but whose long hair is also bound in like separate side knots. It says, and has a massive
Pigtails,
hammer.
yeah.
Pigtails, right?
Right. I could 2 separate side knots. Come on, Poppy. You and I both know that is not a hairstyle here or anywhere in the fucking world. You know they're pigtails, Poppy.
I want to see a depiction of this statue because I wanted to see what this is supposed to look like, right? Mm-hmm. Anyway, she's hanging out. She's watching the crowd looking for the hero. This little girl says, oh, I see. It's him, Daddy. It's the Slayer. She points.
I just want to say, I also read this out loud to Poppy, and I also attempted to do the voices of the characters.
I wish the hero was here. I'd buy him a pint. That type of shit.
yeah.
But
yours was better than mine.
Well, little girl, I've been drinking a little. Well, I guess you have been too, but I'm getting into it more. Little girl like points it in Poppy's direction, and Poppy does quite literally what you said earlier, where she's like, "Oh, where?" and turns around behind her, but there's nothing there. And then they wander off. Poppy goes and like looks at the statue and resolves, "Oh, that looks like a hero for sure." And I'm gonna go off towards Ewendale, and then it just kind of ends. She just goes off to Ewendale.
Yeah, the little girl's dad does say like, it's like a,
not tall enough.
Not tall enough.
Yeah, short enough by a half or something, or too short by a
Oh
half.
yeah.
Like that.
I was like, I know he said it in like a clever way, but I'm like, she's short.
But I feel like if I saw someone Poppy's size with a hammer Poppy's size who had also shimmied up a lamp post while carrying that hammer, that'd be hero enough for me. Like, what the fuck?
Mulan thinks she's tough. Yeah, climbing up her post.
Right?
She's
But I
wiry.
maintain that the only reason... Well...
Oh, I said she's wiry. She's wiry. Whatever.
Wiry.
She's wiry. The only reason...
The only reason she didn't recognize the statue of herself was because the statue wasn't holding a giant lollipop.
Oh, yeah.
They're trying to
She
honor...
would have immediately recognized it.
They're trying to honor this thing. They're not trying to make something that's going to fucking terrify everybody. They're not trying to set up a horror statue in the middle of the fucking town.
There was talk, by the way, this Halloween of dressing up Poppy as Lollipoppy. But she was too little for a wig.
Right? We were looking for like a Lollipop Guild costume.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe next year.
Next year.
Next year.
Anyway, I'm curious, are they still doing that whole thing where Yordles look like humans? They disguise themselves? Is that what Poppy's doing? Is just the way that she's talked about got twisted enough that people think she's a giant man? Or is she just like not seeing herself in this statue and it's really obvious?
I feel like I don't know what they're currently I know that I think they dropped glamour as a thing.
Glamour, that was the word
they
I could
did
think
on
of.
purpose, but I still feel like they're kind of in a zone where like they're magical enough that when people look at them they see something slightly different.
Yeah.
I
But
think
the
that's where
child
they
saw
settled
her.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, plus also, this was written... I don't know when her rework happened, but it's an older thing.
Yeah.
So I think glamours were still the hotness when this was written. So I think... unfortunately, this is supposed to be a glamour thing where people see her and that's what they see. I liked more just the idea of, like you said, it just... one person saw her once and was just telling people, and it's just like a game of telephone where it's just like what ends up happening, especially when it's, again, colored by Demacian biases, right? It just ends up becoming this big full plate, like just imposing super burled dude, You know what I mean?
Right? It's a very fucking William Wallace situation.
Yeah, yeah.
What, he's 8 feet tall, and if he were here, he'd consume the English army with lightning bolts from his eyes and fire bolts from his arse.
Who's that?
William Wallace from Braveheart.
Oh, Braveheart. John made me watch that movie once. I vaguely remember it. I'm sorry.
Would they moon the English? Poppy should have done that.
Sorry, it's not my favorite movie.
I like that more.
Aside from the accent, but...
Oh. But yeah, I like that idea more. I think this is a glamour thing too, because in the bio, like you said earlier, it makes a real point of like, oh, she revealed herself to Orlan for like the first time ever.
Yeah.
So the idea that she's in this big ass crowded festival as just a yordle, that feels a little weird. It's probably more likely that she just looks like a short little something or other. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
A short little shitty human.
Yeah. But yeah, this is one that was kind of okay. I feel like this one's like kind of fun, but it could have been funnier, or they could have played with it more. And it's like almost like a third act is almost kind of missing, because she just like just goes off to Ewendale, and there's not like, I don't know, there's not even like her like remembering like, oh, I was near there a few weeks ago. I just missed the Slayer, you know. It's like she's not that thick, you know what I mean?
Oh, she's pretty thick.
She is, yeah.
Honey.
She thick. Or like,
Yeah.
so,
I liked the first part of it a lot.
Yes.
Like the combat with the wolf, where you kind of get to see combat through her eyes, and like not really wanting to fight, but often being put in a situation where she has to protect people. Like, I really liked that like first half of the story.
It's very Demacian.
It's very Demacian, very like very
Old
pure
Demacia.
Demacia.
Yeah.
I didn't mind as much. Like, I thought her kind of walking off into the sunset, assuming that she's going to get into another situation like this within an hour or two, is very Poppy.
So fast.
Yeah. I think what I want is like a Birch type pass on this, or like who was it that did The Boys and Bambolini?
Oh yeah, that was Rosen himself.
Rosen, yeah. I want like someone with like that type of tone, just to, like, just take a pass on this and like fill it out a little more, play with it a little more. Like, even she's going by this guy and he's like kind of drunk. He's like, oh, if the hero saved my goats, you know, a little while back, I would buy him a drink if he were here. And like, couldn't she kind of internally be like, I saved that guy's goats 2 weeks ago. Man, why can't he not keep his goats safe? The hero had to save him, you know, them too, or something. He couldn't put the fence up, like I said. You know, just like something like spice it up just a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You hear us, Rosen? Take a pass at Poppy. I feel like you'd be good at it.
It's not like terrible. And yeah, I like the first half, like you said too. But
and then the last one that she 100% stars in, and you can tell
We
she
don't-
stars
we
in
don't
it
even have to
because
talk
it's
about
linked
it.
on her universe page. The Whispering Doodad, where Lulu and Tristana, we find out that they visited Poppy and had an encounter with cragwolves, and they mention she's very serious. So if you want to learn more about Poppy, definitely read that story.
yeah, deep insights.
Very Poppy heavy.
There's so many. Oh, sorry.
Oh my god.
There's so many champions in that one. There's Tristana, Lulu, Draven, and Ivern, right? We're assuming it's from Ivern's perspective.
I'm sticking to Ivern
Yeah.
regardless of... Even if someone confirms
And,
that
like-
it's not Ivern at Riot, it's 100% Ivern. You
Oh,
heard
it's
It
it
doesn't
Ivern.
say it's Rengar, man. Like,
But it's just, I think it's not even linked on... No, it must be linked on Lulu and Draven. It has to be. But yeah, anyway.
Probably at least one of them.
Definitely. I think it's linked
But
on
as we
both of
saw with Pantheon, just because you're heavily... Or as we saw with Aatrox, just because you're heavily featured in a story doesn't mean they'll link it
them. Yeah.
on
Yeah.
your page.
Yeah.
it's just a crapshoot.
Pantheon.
She's also in one more comic.
Really? I guess I missed
It's,
it.
A1.
I can't believe that you would miss this. So she shows up in Harmonies
Okay.
issue 2 by Michael Yi Chow.
Big role in this one?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay, yes.
Seraphine has a Star Guardian poster up on her wall, and you can see Star Guardian Poppy in that poster.
Nice. Thank you, honey. I mean, that's
welcome.
about as much as she's in the Whispering Doodad.
That's
What's
fair.
linked? So
Look,
at least you see her in this.
I'm not trying to be mean to Harmonies, but if one comic could be 404'd, couldn't it be? It's not even linked on her universe page, to be fair. But still.
It's probably not linked on anyone's universe page. I feel like
Yeah, I think I'm
they're
sure.
very bad at linking comics.
Yep.
They are.
I think you're
Although
right.
I guess technically most of, well, not most. At least that one is an AU one, so I can forgive that one. I don't think they link a lot of AU content. But there are a lot of comics that are not AU that are also not
Yeah,
linked.
so many.
Yeah.
So you don't get a pass on this one. Not today,
All right.
Riot.
This is the accent episode.
Oh God, we're sorry, everybody.
I'm not.
Something in the water
This
today.
is gold. I mean, I'm drinking water right now.
It's just vodka.
John's actually not drinking anything. Maybe that's it.
Now, we got some old lore Poppy. You want to know what Poppy used to be all about?
Boy, do I.
Oh, boy, howdy.
That was the most. Man, that was like the most, like, I don't want to say passive aggressive, but like enthusiasm that I've heard in a while. I love it. I want to know.
So,
I do want to know.
No, yeah.
we got her old bio.
Oh, great.
Well,
I was trying
you gotta
to
go in the other room while I do that.
passive aggressive thing Mark said.
Tell me about it. I read it.
While other young Yordles would play skip step and make wreaths out of braided posies, Poppy was earning calluses and grease stains in her father's armor shop.
My God, this is just the not like other girls thing in books. Oh, she did like dresses and sewing.
She's the Poppy pick-me.
Me, Poppy.
Blomgrun, who was her dad, was a well-respected armor smith, and he named his daughter for the sprightly sounds that accompanied the sparks leaping from his ever-burning forge. So if you thought that Poppy was named after a fire, no, Poppy is named after the sounds that sparks make when they come popping off a forge. And if you didn't know that that sound was Poppy, I mean, God, hang around more forges, nerd.
Stretch.
Right?
He was filled with pride when she was first able to lift his trusty hammer, Whomper.
You didn't have to say it like that.
I did.
Wampa.
Whomper, I
One
hardly
day-
know her. Sorry.
Heyo, pew pew pew. One day, Blomgrun was commissioned
God,
to
that
create a
fucking
glorious helm. So bad. A glorious helm for a Demacian general. Word of the charge was leaked to the Noxian High Command, and two of their best spies ambushed Blomgrun's caravan en route. Though Poppy escaped with the helm, she helplessly watched as her father was slain. Instead of fleeing home, she carried the helm to Demacia alone. When the Demacian general saw the grim determination behind the tears in her eyes, the general requested that the leadership of Bandle City appoint Poppy as the Yordle ambassador to Demacia. Soon after, seeking to crush Noxus with her father's hammer, Poppy volunteered for the League of Legends.
Hey, it's been a while. Oh, that's way less original
Yeah. It's pretty.
than Poppy's story now. Yeah.
It's like really. I guess I was gonna say boring. I don't know. Generic. And also terrible fucking names. Blomgrun.
Just awful. Whomper.
Whomper. Also fucking
Poppy.
Oh, honey, that's her daughter's name. I'm telling her you said that.
Well, we didn't name her after the sound of sparks flying off a forge and then be like, sounds like a Poppy to me.
You don't have to explain why he named her that. He could just name her that.
Right?
Bad. Or just like, yeah, right.
Or explain why he named something Blomgrum or Whomper. Well,
Right?
Whomper
Why
makes
did your
sense.
parents name you Blomgrun? Is that the sound? Is that
Right?
the other sound that sparks make when they're
No,
coming off a forge?
That's the sound that made after they took a dump in the privy.
I I mean, that sounds like a way better onomatopoeia than Poppy.
Yeah.
I'm just
Anyway.
I think also
Now to our favorite.
also Old Lore. I think she had a connection to Galio, right? We didn't go over this in Galio's episode, but I think old Galio saw he came upon her in the aftermath of that attack and kind of was inspired by her determined nature.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't remember what else happened. That's it. So yeah, so them pairing up in the new lore, nice little tip of the cap, right, to the old lore.
Yeah. And I think actually that's how it happened. Very very close to the time that Galio, because Galio was originally built to just protect this dude, and that dude got murdered too.
Yeah.
I think they died at around the same time, and Galio was like, well, my guy's dead. You want to hang out? Your guy too, huh?
Yeah,
All right, well.
All right, that I enjoy a little bit more. Done goofed it. I don't know.
Man, I blom-grummed that right up.
All right, that's got to be something we work into our vocabulary.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Now, she shows up in a few issues of the Journal of Justice, starting with issue 9, Little Poppy's Big Vacation.
I fucking hate this art. I hate the Journal of Justice sometimes.
Okay, now this whole article is just following her on her fucking vacation because she's an official of the league now, and she's spending league funds to vacation.
She's embezzling money so she can go on a vacay, so she can go down to Cancun.
Yeah.
She took the petty cash.
She used the last of the petty cash fund.
Now, as both Vandal City's ambassador to Demacia and a champion in the League of Legends, Poppy certainly has a lot of responsibility. She also has fame and power, which give her command over resources that would make this reporter blush. And she's been busted for abusing it. How, you might ask? How could such a beloved champion, such a sweet little yordle, be guilty of abusing anything? By using those resources to travel to Seafoam, the exclusive resort on the western coast vacation spot for the wealthy of Demacia. This reporter received a tip from an anonymous source which revealed the following information. According to her position, Poppy's given a certain amount of money a year to travel as an ambassador. This amount is significant, but not enough for a luxury vacation. But this is exactly where the money came from. The Yordle champion racked up room service bills, spa days, shopping sprees in the renowned Grey Hill Road, and a stay in the penthouse suite of a 5-star resort hotel. The estimated cost of this single vacation is far in excess of the annual income of most Valorant citizens. Naturally, neither Poppy nor any of her staff was available for comment. Do I believe Poppy has a tough job? Yes. Do I believe she deserves time off to enjoy her life? Absolutely. Do I believe that she should be allowed to take over the over-the-top expensive vacations on the Demacian taxpayers' money? No way. So what can we do to hold officials like Poppy accountable during moments of financial mismanagement like this? It is the responsibility of you, the reader, to write to the Demacian government and let your opinions be known. On the other hand, the question many readers will want an answer to: does Poppy take Whomper to the beach? This reporter thinks yes.
Well, I guess at least it's not about her bikini pics or her news or something.
That would have been the capper for all of this, right? Would have been in the those shitty tabloids where it's ooh, Poppy, caught blah blah blah. It's still it is still an article about oh, we need to check Poppy's per diem because we need to see those receipts. It's still fucking lame. I still feel like there
wasn't a lot going on that day, when they wrote this one.
Was this one supposed to have been written by a Noxian correspondent, maybe?
Yeah, that was definitely one of the Noxian editorial ones. You'll get those ones occasionally that have very strong anti-Demacia voices.
But couldn't it have been about something interesting? Right? Don't get me wrong. I love shopping spree Poppy. All right, like that is a fun skin where I don't know what she's hitting people with, but like I don't want it to be the actual lore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Popping spree.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of a Confessions of a Shopaholic wordplay, but it was just Confessions of a Popaholic. But she's not a Popaholic. She's, you know what I mean.
You two are popaholics.
Yeah, we are. Can't get enough of that little girl.
Yeah.
You're cute.
Anywho, she shows up
Mark's
also
shaking
in
his head at us.
13.
I don't know why I said that. Whatever.
Now, in issue 13, so two pirates basically have a feud, and one of them pours out all the other pirates' ale. So then the first one then steals all the ale from the next ship that passes. But that ship was a Yordle ship on its way to the celebration of Poppy's appointment as envoy between Demacia and Bandle City. So they got pissed off about it, and then a group of scouts and Meglings, led by Timo and Tristana, because yes,
Meglings.
they were called Meglings at that point,
Oh, God.
went to recover it, but it was all drunk by the time they got there.
Womp womp.
Man,
Womper womper.
Poppy
gonna
can't catch
say
a break.
What was that word? I can't remember his name already.
Blumker.
Dunlap? Blumder?
Blumder.
Dunlap. Burlap.
I feel like us just making up our own words. It's the new
Blumble.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
What's his name? Oh my God, John needs to look it up now because we totally forgot.
Blomgrum.
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 Yeah, all right. They blomgrummed it. Imagine if I said that earlier. Just
Yeah, we'll edit it in.
We'll edit that in. Yeah.
yeah. We. I have the power here, bitches.
All the work we do editing. Now, Poppy's in a few cinematics.
Is Poppy in some cinematics, or is her hammer in some cinematics? I know she's in the Ruination one.
It's mostly her hammer.
Okay,
but
I'm
she's
literally
in a few
looking
of
at it.
them.
Her hammer is in it. Her hammer is in it.
Don't skip ahead. And then
Sorry.
You won't have
She's
to
like covering up the
Spoilers.
screen.
It's spoiled for you.
Okay, anyway.
First one is the Ruination.
What she's in?
Surprise! You thought there'd be no Ruination talk on this episode just because Poppy wasn't part of the event? Well, fucking joke's on you.
But she should have been, though.
There was a you may have, in all the terrible fallout of the event, you may have forgotten that there was a really badass setup cinematic to this event that definitely made it look like Poppy was going to be a very important part of it. Other really cool things we saw here were Poppy and Vane working together. There's an angle on a story we'd love to explore because we know how she feels about magical beings. I can't wait to dive into that a little bit deeper.
Ooh.
And we got Darius and Samira with some real cool combat in this cinematic too. I can't wait to see what their role in the Ruination is going to be.
Yeah.
It was cool all around. And then at the end of the cinematic, we get to see Poppy and Vane finding the Sentinel of Light logo and somehow seemingly understanding what that meant, despite the fact that Vane was very confused later on in the event when she meets her first Sentinels of Light.
It's just different people made these things, clearly. It would make sense for Poppy to... And that's interesting, for Poppy to know what the Sentinels of Light are. Wouldn't that have been interesting? I can't do it again. Anyway,
Right,
next
yeah.
cinematic.
Next cinematic. Rise. Worlds 2018 World Cinematic. Her hammer is in the opening bit with all the weapons. One of a few hammers that were there, so, you know.
She's not that special.
Oh wow, shit.
You're still special, Poppy. And then she was in Represent, the MSI 2019 cinematic.
Was she in it, John?
You can find her hammer in it if you look carefully enough.
If you look carefully enough.
Yeah.
Fucking Where's Waldoing?
Yeah, you got a freeze frame on a lot of these.
Clyde bringing us the best Poppy content.
Poppy's hammer is in every cinematic if you look hard enough.
There's a hidden Poppy's hammer in every
Right? It's just LeBlanc disguised as Poppy's hammer.
And all the hammers are just LeBlanc.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. Could you imagine if she's also the weapons?
LeBlanc.
Wow, you like softballed that over the plate for him. Even he just smashed that shit like out of the park.
Sorry, LeBlanc was really cute. 'Cause I'm just imagining it with like an old cartoon big hammer and then LeBlanc. Anyway,
And final cinematic is she's in Pentakill Mortal Reminder. She's just minding her own business in her forge, and then Mord just fucking rips her house in half.
I hate this
super
one.
fucking rude like.
they're so mean to all the. Why are they doing that? Why did they do this?
I mean,
Why are
you
they
know,
just like
'Cause Rock
Pentakill
stops
is
for
just
no
about
one.
beating up Yordles. Of all the people in Runeterra, it couldn't have been like beating up Garen. That's harsh. There's gotta be someone worse than Garen, right? Right? Probably.
you say that it's like I can't even remember what a champion is anymore. I can't think of anybody.
It's not, Garen's not even that bad.
At least she doesn't seem that upset about it. She seems like she acknowledges that it's pretty metal, and so it's cool. Right?
Yeah, because I think it's like she's like an armor smith, and seeing Mordekaiser like, whoa, how the fuck did you get that armor? I want in on that shit
And that booty.
and that booty.
How'd you get that booty? That's a lot of squats.
She jumps up and slaps him on the
Poppy.
ass.
Okay. Well, we gotta move on. To this one quote that you've written down.
Yeah, I just have one quote written down here. That's not a hammer. This is a hammer. Classic Crocodile Dundee.
I don't remember that. We
Well, I
watched
mean-
that for our podcast.
Well, I mean, in the Crocodile Dundee, it's a knife. That's not a knife. This is a knife.
and that's not an Australian accent.
How dare you?
I can't do it either, though, so I'm not going to finish the sentence.
Well, it's too late. You gotta try now.
nope.
Damn.
Ew.
Denied.
Crikey.
Oh, John.
AU for Australian? Yeah. No. Okay, wait, no. It's AU, whatever.
Australian AU.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, sorry.
You ready for AUs?
Yes, I was just trying to find the browser so I can look at the AUs.
All right. First up, we got Star Voyagers / Astronaut. Astronaut is now part of the Star Voyagers AU.
Oh.
Okay.
And this one is Astronaut Poppy. Commencing countdown. Engines on. Check ignition.
Wow.
Keep the hammer safe with you.
Oh, is that it?
That is it.
Oh, okay.
Bees!
What? No, that's the wrong AU.
But it was very similar. I don't think I've seen this. I've seen the Nar one, but
Yeah,
I didn't realize Poppy was right next to him in the skin.
I mean, it's short just because they're just like lyrics to Space Oddity by David Bowie.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to keep going, but it didn't.
Oh, no.
That's okay. Anyway.
And fun fact about this skin, her summoner icon, which you could buy around when the skin came out, is a StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty reference. It's basically just like the StarCraft 2 icon, but instead of Jim Raynor, it's Poppy.
Okay.
Weird. Neat.
Yeah. And then we got Sugar Rush. From the gingerbread castle to the root beer sea, the licorice mountains to the gumdrop forest, this is the Candy Kingdom in all its glory. And this one is Lollipoppy.
It's not as good as
No.
Splash. It's so cute, but do I want it to be cute, or do I want it to be a thing of nightmares?
Lollipoppy is a legend to the people of the Candy Kingdom. Everyone remembers her face. Everyone.
So they didn't update the the lore blurb.
Oh, they did.
No, I know they didn't.
And fun fact, you can see old Lollipoppy's face in the new Lollipoppy splash
It's great.
in one of the lollipops.
Yeah.
The one front and center.
One front and center. But another fun fact, it can also be seen in the joined splash art of Sugar Rush Ziggs, Sugar Rush Braum, and Sugar Rush Evelyn.
Ooh, that's pretty fun.
Yeah. That face is everywhere.
It is.
God bless them.
And next up we got Ye Old. which is set in the Middle Ages. Ye Old officially encompasses two skin lines, Albion and Medieval.
That's just the
And
old.
this one is...
Sorry, that's just the old Master Yeast lore. Ye Old. That's all. Sorry, it was making me laugh.
He is old. That's good. Is this Blacksmith Poppy?
This is Blacksmith Poppy.
Weird.
A famously gruff blacksmith working under the tutelage of Sir Orn of Freljord.
Ooh.
Poppy wields a hammer imbued with a powerful magic that she believes is destined for... that she believes is destined for the weapon for an unknown hero. Little does she know, the hammer is the weapon. And the hero is herself.
So, okay.
Whoa.
I like it because it's just the same lore, but just like a step further back in the process.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And they were like, I feel like people aren't going to get the subtle, the real subtle hints that we put in the actual lore. So we're going to, we're going to spell it out in this one.
I've never seen this skin before.
I use it
That's the
when I
skin
play her
line
sometimes.
from the Pentakill
Really?
cinematic.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've never seen Ragdoll either. What the fuck?
She's got some
Well,
good
that's up
skins.
next.
Ooh.
Toy Box.
She doesn't get played like super often, or at least at our ELO especially.
Yeah, she was very big jungle for a little while there, and then
Yeah.
it stopped.
We're
But,
playing ARRREEEs.
Nar's toy chest is brimming with priceless treasures, but when no one's home, his toys take on a life of their own. This one is Ragdoll Poppy. Once an innocent cloth doll, Poppy watched helplessly as toy soldiers knocked over her peaceful block village. Now she leads her people to war, their cotton hearts filled with vengeance. Fun fact about this splash, there are a ton of spottables in the background.
Yeah.
You got plush toys resembling Poros, Lulu, Ramus, Super Galaxy Rumble's Tristy, Teemo. There's a balloon resembling a Ziggs Bomb. There's a plain model resembling Red Baron Corky's Rafflecopter. There's an inflatable version of Tundra Fizz's Chomper. There's wallpaper featuring Jinx's tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Oh, yeah.
pillows referencing Star Guardian Lux's Radiant Staff. And there's a bedsheet featuring the Solari and Lunari insignias.
Damn.
The
Dense.
the Teemo and the Poros look so sad. Why are they so sad?
Because Poppy's cotton heart is full of vengeance.
I guess that's fair. You all right? You're taking it personally. Were you listening, you bitch?
I couldn't have been more clear.
Oh, man.
And we got Snowdown Showdown.
It's so cute.
Snowdown Showdown is a series of alternate universe skins and League set around the mythos and festivals of Runeterra's Time of Snowdown.
In League.
And League of all the champion skins are inspired by these regional and festive cultures, and this encompasses Snow Day, Snowdown Showdown, and Winter Wonder. And Poppy is Winter Wonder. This is Snow Fawn Poppy. The Poro King's a right hand and loyal shield. Poppy enforces her furry liege's decrees and protects him from all harm. She also enjoys Snowdown festivities, a holiday she discovered on one of her many colorful adventures. And this has a small cinematic associated with it called Be Your Best Santa, where Santa Brahm is out of commission and they're looking for a replacement, and Poppy sounds like a great replacement. But then Jinx and Draven both want to be Santa too, so it devolves into chaos until Poppy ults them all away and saves the day, but then Santa Brahm comes back, so she never gets to be Poppy. Or she never gets to be Santa. She gets to be Poppy the whole time. She's particularly good at that. Next up, we've got Tales from the Rift / Bewitching, which were kind of split off from the harrowing. Who said witches can't have fun? Whoever it was, they're probably a frog now. Or some other cursed vermin, doomed to forever wander the streets, watching the Eve celebrations from afar. Pretty harsh punishment, but what did you expect? They may know how to throw a party, but at the end of the night, they're still witches. And this one is Bewitching Poppy. Poppy leads the trick-or-treating charge. She's always the first to arrive, even at particularly creepy doorsteps, undaunted by whatever frightening specter or delicious treat lies on the other side.
Dope.
Much like Poppy, I am also not daunted by treats, so we've got that in common. Next up is Hextech. Now at the forefront of science and art, Hextech has evolved from its rudimentary beginnings into a modern renaissance of intricate artificial life forms capable of free will. Skilled artificers lead the medium into a bold new future, but what it will bring, none can say. So it is Hextech Poppy. Artificers of the Hextech Renaissance owe much to Poppy, an expert engineer of the delicate craft. Having perfected the infusion of life into the inanimate, she now feverishly researches the ultimate scientific breakthrough, the creation of an artificial soul.
Damn. I didn't expect you to say that shit. I just assumed she'd be like a Jace type, which I guess she still kind of is, but damn.
Yeah, no. She's no hammer-wielding Neanderthal here. She's fucking transferring artificial souls and shit.
Fucking Neanderthal
trying to bring
Jace.
back Blum Grum or whatever his name is. Return to me, father. Father. This is just what it's like to be at our house all day. We're so annoying.
Finally, we have Star Guardian. In a vast and dark universe,
Oh, this is
young
a full
warriors are
page.
well, it's fucking Star Guardian.
Sorry. Continue.
You sure?
Yeah, keep going.
Young warriors are chosen by fate to protect the light of the stars. They're destined to burn bright, but collapse as furiously as they shine. This one is Star Guardian Poppy. No one takes their Star Guardian responsibilities more seriously than Poppy. A fierce warrior with an even fiercer personality, Poppy wields her hammer judiciously and frowns heavily upon any Star Guardian who is doubtful, or in Jinx's case, flippant, about the call of the first star. While she doesn't see herself as a hero, she is often the first guardian on the battle lines, ready to put duty before everything else. Her no-nonsense... You've got a page of shit here, and you're stopping me for a duty joke.
You know, the important
I
one.
learned it from watching you.
Stop watching me duty, and this wouldn't happen.
I just love your Blumgrum.
Right? I was trying to remember that. That fucking name. Oh my god.
Blumdrum. I honestly, I don't know.
I can't believe you'd forget it. It rolls off the tongue and is so intuitive.
Right?
Her note on it... No, Jesus Christ.
Start over from the beginning.
Say the line about the duty again.
Duty. Her no-nonsense attitude carries her team along, especially at times of indecision. To Poppy, the universe is black and white. You're either here to smash anything that threatens the sanctity of the cosmos, or you're getting smashed. Her magical medium is Light's Hammer. Poppy found a loyal companion in the form of a trusty weapon, and her bravery and intense desire to do good are now bound in the weight of her winged hammer. Only Poppy can wield it. If the Hammer of Light had feet, it would stubbornly dig in its heels into the ground, rejecting anyone else who dared try and carry it. It's kind of a Mjolnir situation here, but with wings. And her hobby is shot put, in case any of y'all were curious. Yeah.
I like that as a hobby for Poppy.
Yeah, it's very on brand.
Yeah. So is that her medium?
Tosses that fucking shield around like crazy.
Yeah.
That is her medium. That's her magical creature. It's her magical hammer.
Yeah, is she the only one that has that going on where her weapon is the medium? So far, that's what I remember, unless I could have forgotten.
There are a couple where the weapon is the medium, but I think in a lot of cases, like they're also like just magical creatures that are just like shooting shit. I don't think there are any other examples where their magical medium is also like a blunt weapon that just gets fucking. Like I think Jinx fires like her magical mediums are also like her guns. Mm-hmm. But they just they're just firing magical shit, doing magical creature shit.
Yeah, interesting. Because I thought that was pretty cool for Poppy there.
Yeah. Now, the stories that are part of this. First we got New Stars by Ariel Lawrence, which just tells us a bit more about Star Guardians. At the beginning of all things, the first star gave its light to create the universe. New worlds were born, and with them, warriors imbued with the light of the first star. As a Star Guardian fades, their power is reborn in new protectors. And Star Guardians are chosen for their strength and resolve, but above all else, they're chosen for their courage. And it often signals a cataclysmic battle elsewhere in the universe when multiple Star Guardians are chosen to serve at once. And Star Guardians must familiarize themselves with the customs and rituals of a planet in order to blend in with its inhabitants, dispelling any suspicions about their true nature.
Man, there's like 12 in one space right now, so some shit's really going down.
Oh yeah, there's some cataclysmic shit. Oops.
Careful, honey.
I hit the microphone.
See, you blum guarded, or whatever the hell his name is.
I blum-grummed in my diaper.
That was so much worse than anything we've said.
Next we got Starfall by Ariel Lawrence. This is one where Lux and her team of Star Guardians go on a team-building retreat. They meet Ari and her team of Guardians there. They don't realize they're Guardians at the time, and then the camp is attacked by darkness, and the two teams fight together to defeat it. Poppy is here in this story. She makes she doesn't play
I promise, it's not just her hammer, but she's here.
She makes pancakes at the beginning. Kind of. She makes a huge mess and is not good at it, but she tries anyway because Lulu was hungry.
Aww.
She's also the responsible one of the group, but it almost seems like the read I got on it is that if Lulu is like the child of the group, Poppy is also the child who's like 2 months older, who has like a chip on her shoulder, like, I'm grown.
So that's going to be our Poppy,
say, right?
with Mark Star. I'm 2 months older than you.
Sit the fuck down. Let me make these pancakes.
I have 2 more months of wisdom on your ass.
Now, over the course of this story, Jinx calls her Shortstop, Short Stack, Bam Bam, Shorty, Little Bits, Smalls, and exactly once, Poppy.
Right, Little Bits is a little weird.
She Jinx just reminds me of fucking Sawyer from Lost in the Star Guardian universe.
You lost me.
Sawyer's like a character in Lost.
Well, I figured.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. But he's got he never like calls anyone by their name. He just is always just has a nickname for literally everyone on the show and just uses them exclusively. All right. Next up, we got The Slumber Party Summoning, also by Ariel Lawrence. Lux plans a mandatory Star Guardian meeting. Lulu, not realizing she meant her team, invites Ari's team. So they show up and they have a slumber party. Things are tense, but they finally lighten up and become friends. So for Poppy's part, she's very serious the entire party. She also doesn't know why Ez was chosen as a Guardian and does not seem to like him, and doesn't seem particularly fond of the other team at all. And is very offended that Ari and Syndra were too busy and too cool to make it to the sleepover. They decide to play a game of Truth or Dare. We find out that even the oldest Star Guardian on Lux's team, which is Janna, is not as old as Poppy's hammer. Poppy's hammer is apparently very old. Poppy is the referee for the Truth or Dare game, a job which she takes very seriously. She does not leave any room for shenanigans. Even when the rest of the room finds out, like, they ask Soraka, like, Soraka had said truth, and they ask, like, oh, do you actually remember, like, back when the first star, like, before it was broken? Because it's broken now. And she was like, yeah, I remember that. I was alive back then. And everyone has follow-up questions because nobody remembers that shit. Like, most of them can't even hear the voice of the first star anymore. So they are very interested in this, but Poppy's like, nope, one question. That's how the game works. Move it along. And Poppy also breaks the coffee table in their house with her hammer when trying to kill the little monster that follows Ezreal back after he does a little parlor trick with a portal on a dare. It's also worth mentioning that Poppy and Jinx are the only people present at this pajama party who don't get a pajama party skin.
Yeah.
Which seems whack.
Oh, that's a bummer.
It seems almost on brand for her because she's so serious,
So
it seems like.
that's what I was thinking.
What about
She's very
Jinx?
serious, but the only reason that everybody has pajamas is because Lulu made everybody pajamas. And she is so fiercely protective of Lulu, she would not have turned down Lulu's pajamas if
Yeah.
offered. So I call bullshit, Riot.
Give us the pajama skins
Where's
we
the
deserve.
pajama Poppy?
It even sounds good.
It does,
Pajama
honestly.
Poppy.
Next up, we got The Twilight Star, also by Ariel Lawrence, where the Star Guardians are playing at a playground because Lulu had a vision of it and drew it in her notebook when suddenly they're attacked by Zoe. She attacks with bubbles. Jinx and Poppy almost get hit by the bubbles, but luck shields them.
And who? Jinx and who?
Jinx and Poppy.
Louis. That was where you did your Louis.
No, that was different. That was a different one.
I thought it was a story.
No, well, it's the same story, but
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
A lot
There's
of
a
people
lot of
almost
bubbles,
get hit
yeah.
by bubbles. There's a lot of bubbles going around here. But they almost get hit, but luck shields them. And then Zoe summons a massive fucking shadow octopus demon jellyfish hybrid. And Poppy smacks it right in the gob with her hammer. They manage to fight Zoe back, but Lulu gets hit by a bubble trying to rescue Miss Fortune and has a vision that she, though they don't know who she is coming. So they decide they need to contact Ari, but that's when they find out she disappeared after the slumber party. She wasn't at the slumber party, but she disappeared after the events of the slumber party to do the events from the Light and Shadow cinematic. Also, we
Nice.
find out in this story that the first star is not a star. It is actually a planet. Which is a neat little tidbit that I must have read a million times, having read the story a million times, but I feel like we've had new conversations about the first star recently, and including it being potentially like, a person in the Q&A episode, but we get confirmation here it is a planet. But maybe it's a person too. Fucking, what's his name? Who's Guardians of the Galaxy dad? Egon or some shit like that?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
a person and a planet, so I guess it could happen. And then finally, we got Twin Stars by Kat Charesh. This is a much longer story that we'll cover in a Star Guardian specific episode, but basically, Zoe, Zaya, and Rakan attack Valorant City, and then the combined forces of Ari and Lux's team fight them off, and Rakan manages to break Zoe's control over Zaya at the cost of himself. Akali and Kaisa were kids at the park when this all happened, and they saw the city get ravaged. And they saw Rakan sacrifice himself, and they saw all the destruction that was caused. Kaisa saw all the positives of good winning the day, and then Akali saw all the negatives about all the stuff that was lost. And this leads directly into the visual novel from the client, and for Poppy's part, she fought in that big ol' fight with her big ol' hammer.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. And fun fact, if a player uses the Star Guardian Poppy on an ally team, you'll hear a stripped down version of the Burning Bright song as the game starts.
Ooh.
So,
Pretty cool.
I won't. My volume's always down.
Oh.
I gotta listen to sick bops while I'm playing League.
Sick pops.
what about the Pop Bops?
Pop pops. Top of the pops.
Pop it and bop it. Fun facts time. Poppy's voiced by Kate Higgins. It's a fun fact.
Yeah, that's good. Good job.
Orlin was also a weaponsmith. I mean, we talked about this, but he actually did craft that hammer himself.
Oh,
And
so he did.
also
Okay.
crafted Jarvan the Fourth's spear, Drakebane.
No shit. Okay,
Neat.
interesting.
Yeah. The Hammer of Orlin is represented as the Hammerstone in Tellstone's King's Gambit. And the author of the rulebook in universe is aware that Poppy is the true hero and is also aware that she doesn't know it.
Okay, interesting. We'll have to get a hold of a copy of that. Put it to the test.
Poppy was the first champion released in 2010. First one of the year. She is also the first and so far only post-launch champion to be priced at 1,350 IP on release. So all other champions with the same price were already present in the game when it officially launched in 2009. And then all the champions after were launched at a more expensive IP point, and now IP doesn't exist. So she will forever hold that title. Poppy is one of 2 champions that went into the weekly champion rotation on the day of their release. The only other one to ever do that is Udyr. And then we talked about this a little bit, but Remade Poppy is the first champion with full facial animation. With all the little face
I don't think I even noticed this.
facial animations.
Yeah.
You'd have to look at a pretty zoomed in version to see it.
Yeah, maybe like a specific animation. She's got really good animations in terms of I like her hammer a lot. They do a really good job with that. It's got a really strong profile, I guess. So I'm sure that carried over.
Yeah. Her base splash art features the titular flower of the poppy.
Yeah, I just realized that today when I was looking at it. I like her splash a lot, frankly.
I really like it too.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's got that wandering hero feel to it.
Yeah, it's it's a lot of good storytelling from a single image.
Poppy flowers. Yeah.
Poppy's dance references the Grunkalunka dance from Futurama, which was their version of the Oompa Loompas.
Is it really? Fucking dope.
Oh God.
Poppy was initially going to wear a red scarf as kind of like a heroic thing, but it competed very heavily with her pigtails and was deemed too busy in her model, so the scarf was trimmed down to a muffler instead.
Okay.
Canonically, Poppy's favorite food is lollipops. Poppy finds Yordles too fluffy and disorganized and prefers the orderliness found in Demacia.
Yeah, that tracks.
Poppy is the first champion to have a form of crowd control on all of her abilities.
Oh, fuck off.
Well, I guess grounding, I guess, counts as crowd control, right? Is that
and slowing.
Oh, does it also? Well, Jesus, shows what the fuck I know. I thought it only
God,
grounded.
Leona's got to be close though.
But
Oh no, I just meant her because I think her passive is included in this with her throwing her hammer to cause a
Right.
she throws her shield.
too.
Thank you.
Or yes, her shield.
Does that even
Actually.
actually? Huh? Damn. I need to play more Poppy.
And Poppy is the first and only champion to have 2 skins released for the Snowdown Showdown event, as despite the fact that Ragdoll Poppy is now part of Nara's Toy Box, it was released as a Snowdown skin.
Ooh, I didn't. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
And those are the Poppy fun facts. That's
Nice.
Pretty good.
That is, we're all popped out.
Yeah.
Any final Poppy thoughts?
I think you can do a lot with her.
Yeah.
I don't know if they ever will,
Yeah.
but give her the Rosen pass.
Yeah.
I'd love it.
Yeah, make her go through the Rosen Pass. I think you kind of nailed it. She's in Legends of Runeterra, but I didn't really have anything major to pull from that, so I didn't have anything extra to add. But I liked her comic a lot. Please fix the fucking link.
Fix the links.
Come on.
let people read the comic that you made.
It's a good
for
guy,
her. Riot.
Somebody
please.
drew that,
Yeah.
Maybe credit them. If you got a day, got an hour.
Just, I know some writer out there. is listening.
There has to be at least one rioter who listens to this, right?
They purposely
know.
just go and break more links. Every time we complain, they break another
Oh my
link.
god.
Right? They go to the next champion we're gonna cover, and then they break those links.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Looks like Silas's comic got deleted. Oops.
Whoopsie doodle.
I wouldn't
man.
even blame them. We make fun of them a lot.
It's all love. It's all love. Well, you know.
Well, that was Poppy. Thank you for listening, and I'm sorry. That's I don't know what was up with us today. I think it's not even, I had very little wine. I'm so fucking tired, and John has like a huge headache, and Mark also I think is really fucking tired, and we're just a little unhinged today.
It's, you
I
know.
thought we were fine.
Yeah, it's just high energy. High energy for Poppy.
There's a lot of like duty and fart jokes, more than I would have liked.
You can never have too many duty and
And a
fart
lot of them were
jokes.
from me, so I can't even.
And I've never been prouder.
Thanks, honey. I do everything for you. Okay. We have a Twitter. It's at Loreheads. We also have a Twitch, twitch.tv/Loreheads. As of right now, John's really the only one streaming there. He streams every Saturday. Yeah, I don't know what that face was either, Mark, that John was just making.
He's like the thought of us streaming. He's like, ugh, disgusting. Ugh.
Ew, someone else is going to stream on that channel?
It's all dirty. I have to
Nasty.
wipe the stream off. Ugh.
To wipe this, to vacuum the stream in between, get the greasy fingerprints off. Anyway, we also post these on YouTube, and we have some fun parody songs there, and we have a new one that Mark sang.
Yay! Which, by the time this episode comes out, will be available for
Live.
everyone.
Yeah, it's just on Patreon at the moment. We have a Discord channel if you want to join in on these great discussions. I'm sure better ones are happening.
Better than Glomgrum.
We do
God,
not
I
know his
already
name.
fucking
It's
forgot
gone.
his
It's
name.
gone forever. I can't. It's like when I learn math. I can remember it in that moment, and then I look away from the page, and it gets deleted. We have a Patreon as well. I think we're all feeling like we want to put more on the Patreon, probably after the holidays. So I think starting next year, we're going to try to have more of a regular rotation of Patreon content. But, you know, there's some fun stuff there right now. And thank you so much to all of our patrons.
But a very special thank you to our Medarda tier and all chat tier enabled patrons: Chloe Things, Kindred Enjoyer, King of Hearts, Rel, Shupa Moustache, and Techno Robert. If you were all being attacked by a crag beast, I would grab the hammer from Poppy and I would save you. And then I'd give the hammer back because she's
You get,
I definitely would almost
I was gonna say you get put in the
No.
dirt.
But I would do it for you.
Honey, you got big muscles.
I don't.
He's aging rapidly, like as we're talking
Oh
about.
my god. Are you alright? Fucking Jack disease over here. And join us next week because we're going to talk about the Blood Harbor Ripper Pike.